My wife of 2 years is cheating on me. All 6 updates today. I, male 27, found out my wife, female 25, is cheating on me. As with all cheaters, she messed up. She left her second phone home when she left for work. I'm numb because I heard her phone go off and I assumed she had just left it and we were supposed to meet up for lunch later, but when I picked up her phone I saw a number I didn't recognize and the text on there said it all. It read, "I can't wait to see you tonight." Yeah, I know that maybe that's just a friend and this could just be a work phone, but my gut tells me otherwise. I've been thinking about it and she has been acting weird. She's been working long hours, she's been on 2 girls' trips this month, and she's been randomly called in to work on her days off. I don't know what to do. Her second phone has a lock on it, otherwise I'd open it and read the other texts. What should I do? Update 1. I just finished lunch with her. I confronted her about the phone and the look of horror on her face broke what little hope I had left that she wasn't cheating on me. I gave her her phone and told her to open it and show me the text thread, and the messages date back to December. I asked her how long she's been cheating and she confessed. She broke down and started apologizing as I read the messages, which were like daggers straight to my heart. I asked her again how long, and apparently it's been happening our whole marriage. When I told her I don't think I could forgive her, she got mad and drove home, packed a suitcase and left. I'm sitting here on our bed with a mixture of sorrow, pain, and a desire to just wake up from this nightmare. I don't know where I went wrong. Why couldn't I be a better husband to her? I feel so lost and hopeless. She was my everything. Thank you for the support. Update 2. So today I had the locks changed to the house. I called a divorce attorney to help me and I met with him in a day, so hopefully he will take my case. I went through some of her messages and her friends' messages to me. Apparently she twisted the story to make it look like I cheated on her and she's the victim. Unfortunately for her, I took a picture of the text that said "I can't wait to see you" and sent that to her family. I'd give that will do anything but yeah. I feel insanely guilty about every text I read from her. She called me about 40 times and left voicemails, which I immediately deleted. With all the support and help from you guys, I feel like I can make it through this. Oh, also I did set a DRS appointment to get tested for STDs. Thank you for all the support. I really appreciate it. Yesterday my world fell apart and you guys are helping me pick up the pieces. My family believes in me and supports me, and my friends support me too. I still have a lot of pain in me, but I feel like I can breathe a little better, and as some of you have mentioned, that it can only get better from here. I hope this is the case because this hurt is one I never want to feel again. I'll keep you updated as it comes. Update 3. Ever since a week or 2 ago, my life has been in a downhill spiral and the hurt hurts too much. My race has been run, and to quote Lord of the Rings, there are some things that time cannot mend. Some hurts that go too deep, that have taken hold. Bilbo once told me his part in this tale would end, that each of us must come and go in the telling. It's my time to talk about life. Update 4. Thank you all of you. Thank you. I was on the couch with my gun in my hand. I was crying and I'd quiet, but I fell asleep. I woke up to my phone going off. I'm in the ER right now waiting to go to the mental health ward. You guys helped me with your love. Thank you is all I can say. I love you guys. Update 5. I'm in the mental health unit now and they allow me to have my phone for 20 minutes, so I wanted to give you an update. I've called my brother and he's going to my house to take and lock up my guns until I get through this. I'm going to be here for a week or 2 until the DRS feel like I'm not a danger to myself. Again, thank you for all your love and support, and know that you saved a life with all your loving comments. Final update. I almost made the worst decision 2 weeks ago. I almost committed unaliving over my ex-wife. I'm happy to report that I'm back from the hospital with more hope and peace than I've felt in a long time. I got out last week, and since then I finalized my divorce. My friend has moved in with me to help get me through this rough patch. Also, it turns out that my ex was cheating on me with a married coworker, and when she ran to him after she left, he chose his wife over her. I don't know them, otherwise I'd let his wife know about his infidelity. My ex is now living in a motel because her friends and family, after I sent them proof, have all but abandoned her. Life is looking up, and without your kind words and support I wouldn't be here. Thank you for saving my life. Now it's time for me to love it again.
You really said that? Get out. My girl asked that we open our relationship, and I just pointed her to the door. Was it too much? I strongly believe that in a monogamous relationship, when someone asks to open it, well, it is because that person saw something else out there and is ready to try it, instead of working in the relationship. Basically is blindsiding her partner. So I have being with Fran, 36, over the last 2 years and a half, almost 2 as a couple. I thought that things were moving smoothly, and was about to ask her to move in, at the beginning of April. But lately she was acting rather distant. So I decided to wait a little and watch. I was cheated on the past, so I'm a little cautious. With some signs out of nowhere, this last Friday she asked me to open the relationship. She gave me all her big speech, and when she ended her presentation I asked her if she has someone in mind, because it's not like we decided today and basically going out with other persons tomorrow. Basically I trick her in to tell me what I already knew, and yes, she has someone in mind, which means, to me, that either she already did it, or she has all set up. So I got up, walk around the apartment while she was trying to sell that this could be good for both us and our relationship. By the time she ended talking, I hand her one of my sport bags with all her stuff in it and tell her to left the spare key over the table on her way out, that we are done and she knows why. Then I went to the couch and turned on the TV, just trying to look and save face. She was speechless for a while, about to cry. But before she couldn't say something, I told her that I didn't want to talk about anything and she should leave. As soon as she left, I felt like crap. So unworthy, cried a little, and as of right now, I'm still mourning. My phone has gone almost nuclear with all the calls and texts I received from friends of both sides about my extreme reaction over her simple request. Don't know what she told them. So now I'm sitting wondering if I really went overboard, and at the same time fighting the urge to run back to her, because deep inside even knowing my feelings for her are still there. The trust is gone, and I'm not going to spend all my time watching her movements. Is not healthy, maybe in time, really don't know. Before anyone pointed out, yes I know, my reaction is pure reflection of me, not what she did or was about to do or could do. So, did I go overboard? I lied about who my baby daddy is. Do I tell him the truth now? I already love this little baby in my belly, and I feel 100% confident that I can raise and provide for him on my own, with minor help from my family. One of my best friends back in California was having an engagement party. I won't be able to attend the wedding as I'll be busy with a newborn when it happens. So I decided to fly out to see my friends and offer my congratulations to the couple before my life becomes baby-centric. I got into town on Thursday and honestly had a blast seeing all my friends yesterday, even though it's only been about 6 months since I last saw them. They were all respectful of my wishes, not to take pictures of me below the chest. They did post some pictures of me online, but from the angles it just looks like I gained some weight on my face. Nothing that would give away my pregnancy. It's a couple days before my flight back home, and the friend that I'm staying with suggested we go to the store because she wanted to get a scrapbook for our engaged friend. So we went to the store, and as we were getting ready to leave, I saw Jeff's cousin Tanya, 22-ish, walk in. I talked to her several times at Jeff's family gatherings over the years, but we never really got along. She was always a bit too gossipy for me to like her. So of course she was the last person I wanted to see. The first thing she did was loudly announce that I was pregnant, as if everyone in the store couldn't tell, just by looking at me. Then she starts grilling me, asking if Jeff knows. I said no, and that he doesn't need to know as it's not his. That was a lie, obviously, but I didn't want to open a can of worms. Tanya then tells me with how big my belly is that I'm far along and asks how I could move on so quickly. I told her that Jeff and I broke up a long time ago. She responded saying that everyone knows we were still hooking up at the beginning of this year. I did not know that was common knowledge. I figured Jeff would have kept his mouth shut about that. Anyway, I lied and told her I already had a new boyfriend and was 5 months pregnant. She seemed to accept that and awkwardly congratulated me. My friend and I paid for her stuff and left immediately after that. I prayed that would be the end of it. Like I said, Tanya is a gossip, so of course she went and ran her mouth about seeing me pregnant just a few hours later. Now a bunch of my friends have messaged me saying that Jeff is blowing up their inboxes trying to reach me. None of them have told him my new number or social media, so he has no way of reaching me himself. My flight back home isn't for another 2 days, and I'm freaking out. Some of my friends say I should just tell him the truth now that he knows I'm pregnant. I still say I can get by pretending it's someone else's, and that I'm not far enough along for it to be his. I honestly just want to ignore him and go back home. However, I'm having some doubts that that's the right choice. I'm in a nightmarish divorce process because I need to protect my daughter from my spineless husband and his fanatical Pentecostal family. In his absence, an elderly man I don't know at all visited our home twice. Claiming concern for my daughter's safety, he inappropriately referenced my anxiety disorder and my psychiatrist's name, known only to my husband and presumably his parents. I called the police. I noticed substantial withdrawals from our joint bank account. I promptly transferred the remaining money into a private savings account and left our home with our daughter for the safety of my brother's house, several hours away. I started engaging with a divorce attorney, exploring the process of filing for divorce and a custody order. After nearly 2 weeks of no contact, My husband called accusing me of taking his daughter away. His mother, audibly yelling in the background, attacked my anxiety disorder, referencing me as Miss Clonopin and not wanting me to drag her granddaughter to hell with you, claiming grandparent rights, etc. I told him I thought it was best we engage going forward through our lawyers, and I hung up. This ordeal has been an absolute nightmare. After filing a petition, any negotiations for a settlement have quickly reached an impasse to the point where I don't see how we wouldn't eventually go to court. My brother has been helping me with legal costs, and he suspects things are being drawn out to try to bleed me dry financially, because my husband makes a lot more money than I do. The negotiations reach an impasse because of their aggressive claims against me. They allege that I'm making up stories about the intimidation from the older man, though I'm telling the truth. They're also arguing that by pulling our daughter out of the Pentecostal school and refusing to allow her to interact with her grandparents, removed her from a stable environment and thrust her into an unfamiliar one. Accusing me of secular bias, insisting that my actions were damaging to our daughter's mental and emotional well-being, that I was depriving her of her faith community, and that I was causing unnecessary confusion and anxiety by uprooting everything she had known and taking her hours away from her main family and friends at school. They're also claiming that I was actively ignoring my husband's attempts to make contact, despite him not actually making any attempts outside of that one phone call he made. My lawyer says they're trying to exploit the court's usual preference for maintaining stability in a child's life, and they want me to feel a sense of hopelessness, so that I cave in to compromise. My brother thinks it's good to go to court because he said a lot of this bull poop on their end will be exposed. What's your greatest achievement under the sheets? To me, Emily and I are both the best relationship in the ultimate gaming duo. We're like peanut butter and chocolate. That's what we call each other since she's Blasian and I'm black. We're obsessed with Guitar Hero and we go crazy for what feels like ours. But there's this one song, man. You guys know it too. Through the Fire and the Flames. It's like the Everest of Guitar Hero, and we've been struggling to conquer it. So one night, we're chilling in our cozy gaming den, eyes glued to the screen. Emily, with that mischievous smile of hers, drops a bombshell. She leans in, all secretive-like, and goes, "Hey babe, I'll give you head and let you finish in me and a special treat if you can beat through the fire and the flames and turn off the game." I'm all ears now, my heart's racing. Reward? What kind of reward? I ask, trying to act cool even though my mind's on fire. Emily's grin widens and she whispers, "Tabs chocolates, bro, you know, the ones on TikTok that supposedly spice things up." Damn, my jaw practically dropped to my ass. Tabs chocolates? This just got hella interesting. Feeling determined and horny all at once, I lock eyes with Emily and say, "You're on, babe. If I conquer that beast of a song, you better be ready to unleash that chocolate magic, girl." We grab our trusty plastic guitars, fingers twitching with anticipation. The song starts, and we dive into the virtual world of rock and roll. Notes fly by like a freaking hurricane. But we're in sync, zoned in, and ready to slay this beast. Attempt after attempt, we push ourselves to the limit. Fingers cramp, sweat drips, and frustration mounts. But we refuse to give up. We're in this together, driven by the promise of the ultimate reward. Then it happens, on that one epic run, the stars align, and we freaking nail it. The crowd goes wild, and we high-five like we just won the World Cup. We did it, man. Breathing heavy and grinning like a couple of mad geniuses. Emily grabs my hand and leads me to our bedroom. She pulls out a secret stash of Tabs chocolates from this black and gold box with gold foiling, and it's game time. We pop those chocolate delights into our mouths, savoring the rich, velvety taste. Instantly, a rush courses through us, intensifying our desires like never before. It's like our bodies have been electrified, ready to take things to a whole new level. Inspired by the rhythm of the song that we just conquered, we decide to take it up a notch. We sync our movements, our thrusts, to the beat of Through the Fire and the Flames. It's an insane idea, but we're fueled by the passion and the energy of the moment. As the song blares from the speakers, our bodies move in perfect harmony, riding the waves of pleasure and matching the beat. It's a mind-blowing experience, the ultimate fusion of music, gaming, and our deepest desires. The Tabs chocolates have enhanced our drive, intensifying every sensation. I lied about who my baby daddy is. Do I tell him the truth now? I, 26F, grew up in the Midwest but went to college in California. There I met and dated Jeff, 26M, for our final 2 undergraduate years. After graduation, I stayed in California to get my master's degree while Jeff entered the workforce. We were happy together and planned to marry after I got my master's. After I finished my schooling, Jeff got cold feet about getting married and eventually becoming a father. Abandonment issues from his bio dad leaving, so he broke up with me. Heartbroken feels like it would barely scratch the surface on how I felt. I had a great job in California, so I hoped Jeff would come to his senses and we'd get back together. We never did. He met Grace, 25F, and started dating her about 5 months after we broke up. I started planning on moving back to my home state once I realized it was actually over. Then he and Grace broke up at the beginning of this year. Jeff and I ended up sleeping together a few times while they were broken up. It was a very public breakup. No cheating involved. About a week after the last time we had intimacy, he told me that he and Grace were getting back together. He said he couldn't remain friends with me because he still had feelings for me, and he had to let them fade to be fair to Grace. His final words to me were to not call him unless I was literally dying and just wanting to say goodbye. I left California behind 3 weeks later. 2 weeks after I had returned home, I found out that I was pregnant. It's Jeff's. I wasn't going to be that girl that uses a pregnancy to get a man back, so I deleted all my social media accounts and made new ones that don't have my name attached to them. The only Cali people I added were trusted friends, who I knew either had no connection to Jeff or who were loyal to me and wouldn't tell him my new accounts. Early in my pregnancy, I made the mistake of checking out Jeff and Grace's respective profiles and saw that they refer to each other as Llama. And Jeff even had a picture of them captioned, saying he was going to marry that girl. That broke me all over again, and I have since blocked them both and decided I had to move on with my life. I'm now 6.5 months pregnant. Since moving back, I have bought my own house in my home state and have been busy building a nursery for my baby. What are some girl secrets guys don't know about? You know when you see a woman in a ponytail walking and that ponytail is just swinging aggressively back and forth? Yeah, she's doing that on purpose. We can walk normally so that the ponytail doesn't swing as much, but we don't, because it's fun when ponytail go whoosh whoosh. Some of us shave our toe hairs. Yesterday I overheard 2 women at the thrift store conversing about one's husband asking whether or not she could poop while wearing a tampon. I fled the scene before the secret was revealed. Dogs love to smell our crotches when we're menstruating. It's extremely uncomfortable. The panic when we believe we've either pissed ourselves or have just come on our period. Run to the toilet only to realize it was discharge. I'm a man, but I've been with my wife for 10 years, and I'm so close to deciphering the meaning of all of the squiggly hair symbols on my shower wall. We sometimes get a random pain in the bob and wonder if we're going to get a heart attack. We have a favorite bra. We also wash it less than the others. Pulling up our underwear after using the restroom is the worst because discharge on your underwear will cool down and it's really cold/uncomfortable feeling putting it back on. I was in Discord chat with a bunch of guy friends and we were gaming. They were talking about giant shats they've taken. And I talked about how period shats work and why progesterone is the devil when it hits your colon. I said it's even weirder when it mixes with the blood and looks like someone dumped peanut butter and jelly. If I'm doing an awkward shuffle, I'm probably trying to get an air bubble out of my vag. Showering during your period is the perfect opportunity to get out any leftovers and clean that thing out. Guys, have you ever made a huge mistake while thinking with your PP? My friend and I have always been attracted to each other and decided to become friends with benefits. She had a preference for bananas that had the snip, however my PP had a hood. She said she had unpleasant experiences with previous partners who did not have the snip and was disgusted when one of her previous partners had PP cheese. Even though I guaranteed her that I thoroughly washed my PP as frequently as possible, she was still uncomfortable with the thought of sleeping with another unsnipped partner because she was worried that her past experience might lead to her getting the ick when she saw my uncut PP, regardless if it was clean or not. My friend asked if I ever considered the snip. I said I never considered it because I was happy with it the way it was. My friend apologized for being turned off by an uncut PP and suggested that we brainstorm ways to work around it somehow. After the first week of only going down on her, we agreed we needed an alternative. So a few weeks ago, I decided to get the snip. I wanted to go all the way with my friend, and I was willing to allow a complete stranger to literally chop off parts of my PP to accomplish that. My friend was over the moon when she heard I was getting the snip. After the procedure, I was advised to avoid all intimate activity that involved my now snipped PP for a period of 4 weeks. My friend and I obviously had to pause our plan to sleep together during that time. As of today, it's been 2 weeks and 2 days since my circumcision, and the plan my friend and I had to hook up is no longer on pause. It's dead. Done. Not happening. Less than a week after my snip, my friend met the perfect guy apparently. He's an optometrist, and I think he might have helped her see that sleeping with him was a much better option than sleeping with me. My friend has downplayed the connection between the two of them, but going into the 3rd week of my recovery, it's become clear to me that my friend has hearts in her eyes for the eye doctor.